Are you considering making the move to Tulsa, Oklahoma, or one of the surrounding suburbs? Do you wonder what life in Tulsa, Oklahoma is like? Well, I get calls, texts, and emails every day from people just like you who have questions about living in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So today I'm going to go over the most frequently asked questions I get about living in Tulsa. And if this is your first time to our channel and you want to know everything that there is to know about living in Tulsa, Oklahoma or the surrounding suburbs, then tap that little bell notification and subscribe. That way you can be the first to know what's going on in our local Tulsa area real estate market. I'm Sabrina Shaw, a local real estate agent here in the Tulsa area. And like I said, my team and I talk to people every single day who need help buying and selling a house in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And let me tell you, we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, jump on a Zoom call with us, and we would love to help you make that seamless move to Tulsa, Oklahoma. One of the top questions I hear is, what's the cost of living in Tulsa, Oklahoma? And that is an extremely important one. So Tulsa's cost of living is lower than the national average, and you do get more house for your money, but I do find that many people expect a huge difference. And there is if you're moving from places, like San Diego or New York, Denver, Portland, Austin. But if you're in another part of the country, the difference might not be so big. I have several videos showing you different houses in different neighborhoods that have different price points. So be sure to check those out, and then you can really get an idea to how far your dollar will stretch. Now, there was an article that I just read by Smart Asset, and it was, what $100,000 will get you in the largest American cities for 2023. And according to the study, Tulsa was ranked 11th for making $100,000 go the furthest. So which means that you have more disposable income for you and your family. Now, another question I often get is, what's Tulsa's job market? Well, Tulsa used to heavily rely on the energy sector, which is still an important part of our economy, but it has diversified now. And so the main industry sectors are aerospace, of course, energy, health, manufacturing, transportation, and technology. And believe it or not, filmmaking is big here in Oklahoma too. I just read a headline saying that Tulsa was the 5th best place for filmmakers to live. And so I haven't read that article yet, but it's very interesting. The unemployment rate in Tulsa is 2.3%, whereas the national unemployment rate is 3.4%, and that's based on data from April of 2023. And the average median income for a family in Tulsa County is $60,000. Okay, so moving on to property taxes. Tulsa's property taxes are going to average about 1% in Tulsa County, and it's going to be based on school district. It will be between approximately 1.2 and 1.6%. Now, Tulsa County does have the highest property tax rate in Oklahoma, but it also has many of the top performing public schools in Oklahoma too. Okay, how are Tulsa schools? Well, Tulsa has, an array of highly rated schools, and it's got schools that are underperforming. And I think that you'll find that most anywhere. So it is very important to understand the school systems when you are choosing a home. Now, I did a complete video over Tulsa schools, so be sure to watch it if you want more information, and I can always, dive deeper and drill something down even more. How is the community in Tulsa? Well, Tulsa is a tight-knit place. There are so many opportunities to get involved. You can join as simple as, joining a session of yoga on Riverside that's sponsored by the Tulsa Opera. They do that once a week on Tuesdays. You can join the Tulsa Garden Society. There's the Tulsa Runners Club, Bikers Club. There's the Ski Club. There's so many things that you can do to join, to be part of a group. There's volunteering opportunities, at the gathering place, at the library, for schools. There's so many opportunities to plug yourself in and get involved. And people from Tulsa, I think, are very welcoming. And, a lot of the neighborhoods have, fun activities and get-togethers too. For example, Maple Ridge in Midtown Tulsa just had their 5K memorial run, which, had business sponsors and included lots of activities. So there's plenty of ways to get involved if you're moving out of town. Okay, is there anything fun to do in Tulsa? Now, Tulsa has a thriving arts district and a music scene. The music scene is starting to expand. There's festivals, there's art crawls, there's some amazing outdoor spaces, local restaurants, live music, concerts, movies on the lawn, museums. There's tons of things to do in Tulsa. I mean, really, you can look at Facebook for events or things that are happening. And there seems to always be something fun to do when you're living in Tulsa or, the surrounding suburbs. Okay, what's the difference between rural water and city water? So rural water is provided by rural water districts, and it's usually sourced, from reservoirs. That doesn't mean that you have well water on your property. So that's a common misunderstanding that people that are coming from out of state think that when it says rural water, that means you actually have well water on your property. And city water, that's going to be sourced, from rivers and lakes, and it's treated and managed by the municipal water treatment plant. And that just kind of leads on to how the water quality is in Tulsa. And Tulsa has some of the best water in the state. It's got a rigorous water treatment process. Its main sources of water are going to be from Lake Oologah, Lake Spavinaw, and Lake Eechee. And the water is brought from the reservoirs to the treatment plants through flow lines. Tulsa's water is also hard. It measures at 146 ppm. I'll say when I'm traveling, I prefer Tulsa's water to almost anywhere that I've gone, across the United States. Okay, what's the difference between sewer and septic? So if you're looking at living outside of the Tulsa area, usually on a half acre or more, then you're probably going to have a septic or aerobic system, which basically is a self-contained underground wastewater treatment system. It's very common, it's not a big deal. And sewer refers to, large-scale public systems that actually transport the sewage to treatment facilities. So if you live in the city, you're most likely going to be on city sewer. Okay, do you need a storm shelter if you live in Oklahoma? Storm shelters are certainly not a requirement, but they can certainly give you peace of mind. And I think people moving from out of state want that peace of mind more, especially during our stormy seasons. So even though Tulsa has tornadoes, they're not very severe. Okay, so an article by Matt McWilliams with Discover Tulsa, did a study over the tornadoes, and since 1950, there have been over 200 tornadoes, which average about 3 a year, with the average fatality being 1 per year. Now, one fatality is too many, but it's not catastrophic. But Tulsa is known as a high-risk area, and of course, compared to the rest of the United States, your chances of being in a tornado in Tulsa are, way higher through the roof. So although your chances of being in a tornado are higher in Tulsa than, like I said, in other parts of the country, it's going to be less severe than if you're in other parts of Oklahoma, like the Oklahoma City, Moore area. They do get more severe tornadoes. But guess what? It is not hard at all to have a tornado shelter installed, and there are many reputable companies that can do that for you. Okay, next. Do you need a pikepass if you live in Tulsa, Oklahoma? Okay, it's not necessary to have a pikepass, but it makes your commute so much easier. I use mine a few times a day. If you are coming into town to have us show you houses and you're renting a vehicle, then I suggest getting the pikepass. It just makes it so much easier to get around, but it is an added expense. So if you end up moving and you want to use the turnpikes, then that's an added cost that can kind of add up. There's definitely ways to where you don't have to use it. Traffic for the most part is still easily commutable. You're not going to, waste a ton of time by not having it. It's just very convenient. Okay, how's traffic in Tulsa? Compared to many cities, Tulsa's traffic is very manageable. Now, of course, there can be rush hour slowdowns, but overall the commutes are pretty reasonable. And I'm telling you, my out-of-state clients love our Tulsa traffic. And I did a video on Tulsa traffic, and it took me 12 minutes to get from a part of Tulsa to Glenpool during 5 o'clock rush hour traffic. And let me tell you, it was an easy day for the commute. Like, it was so flawless. I was expecting to see a little bit of traffic, but there really wasn't. I mean, we got pretty far in 12 minutes. And it's not always like that. And sometimes if you take different highways, like I did take, a certain path as opposed to another path because I knew traffic would be less there. But again, my out-of-state clients think that our traffic is very, very manageable. Okay, so there you have it. Those are some of the top questions that I have about life in Tulsa. I hope that I've provided some clarity for you, maybe put your mind at ease. If you have any other questions about living in Tulsa, Oklahoma or the surrounding suburbs, type it in the comments. I'd love to do a part 2 or do a specific video just for you. And if this video is helpful, please hit that thumbs up notification and subscribe to my channel. And if you are thinking about making that move to Tulsa, Oklahoma, somebody from my team or I would love to discuss your specific situation to see if Tulsa is the right place for you. And I hope we have the chance to show you around.